Hello for a second time. Sophie Garner.
Hello.
Jess says hello.
Here.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. If you'd have asked me that 7 months ago, I probably wouldn't have even been able to be online to tell you that. But I'm
Okay,
really
but whatever
good.
was wrong then is better now.
It is. I'm glass overflowing.
Good to know. Good to know. So, how is the pandemic treating a voice coach?
Okay. Beginning, I lost all my work in the space of 48 hours, literally everything. So that's 5 choirs, that's private singing students, that is a stroke clinic, that is going to Headway to deliver all my gigs, every wedding cancelled. So I went from earning to zero. I then literally hit the ground running. So it was either go into the corner,
Yeah, like starve.
yeah, or go, I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to have to go with it. And bizarrely, it was great timing because I'd literally just finished the end of a course creation. I was doing a course with an amazing woman in Australia called Sarah Cordiner, one of the world leading course trainers. And it was a course, how to create a course. I went live literally a week before lockdown. And I had kids on and I did a 5-day songwriting challenge. Did it really cheaply. From that, I got some private students and I then thought, right, I need to take it online. So I quickly learned Zoom, as we all did. Zoom have done brilliantly out of this, I'm sure.
They've done very well, yeah.
Yeah, very. And I contacted all my students and said, right, I can carry on online. And actually, apart from one that said, seeing you as part of it in the flesh, came online, have stayed online and will continue to be online. So it's changed the way I work completely. No, I haven't got the weddings and I've got 2 choirs online and they've stuck with me. It's really been, I think, an opportunity to find out who is your tribe and who is in it for the long haul, despite everything that's happened. And that was difficult, seeing people fragment and go, not for me, yeah, not invested anymore. And I took that very personally. And of course it wasn't.
Of course not.
No, but I've got through it. And yeah, I've been very busy, but not as you would think busy.
Not busy doing what you used to do, but doing new things.
It's been hard. It's been hard not getting dressed up every day and wearing jewellery. I feel like I've lost my identity a bit, not being able to go out and sing because that's how I release. And it was very difficult some days where I couldn't get out of bed. And I really struggled with my mental health, as we all do. But I suffer with depression anyway. So real depression, medication depression. And it just exacerbated that. And there were days when I just didn't get dressed, couldn't actually work, had to cancel. Really got to me. I got lost, as many of us did, and I had to really pull myself out of that and had friends just calling me, and I got back on track eventually.
Good for you. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, bless you. And I dealt with a cancer scare as well, so that was all going on before Christmas. I had a biopsy, so everything just imploded, really.
Yeah. It was a difficult year. More so than
all of us, and we've all dealt with it in different ways, haven't we?
Yeah. It was 2020 was an odd one,
and we're still, we've still got this continuation, and this, as humans, we need certainty. We have to have a goal of, I can't wait to go on holiday. Then I'm looking forward to having lunch with my girlfriend. Then, and we don't. It's like we get to the can. And then it kicks down the road and we're constantly, we don't know where we are. We have hope and that's all we have. We can't organise anything and that's driving every human insane.
Yeah, last weekend, the one just gone, I'm in Italy, as you know, and the lockdown rules are slightly different here in that you can visit another family. It's not quite a bubble, but it's a similar idea, but only two people can. And so last weekend, my close friends who live here, their birthdays are on the 27th and 28th of January. It's a couple.
Brilliant.
And so they came here for lunch. And one of my friends in the UK, whose because she's in Manchester, has pretty much been in lockdown
Yes.
since March last year. She's only 3 weeks where she hasn't been in lockdown, because she was tier 3.
Yeah.
3 weeks last year after the initial March the 23rd thing. So we invited her to lunch as well via Zoom.
Oh, how lovely.
And she said the middle of last week, I can't believe it. I've got something in my diary to look forward to.
Yeah. It's
She
just
said
a blank sheet.
so long. She said, I haven't got anything to kind of feel optimistic about, or, you know, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to see that person.
Absolutely. Every day is Groundhog Day. My next door neighbour, she posted on Facebook, she bought a calendar and she said, well, January's going to be good, and just empty boxes.
Yeah.
You know, next year's tax return, we're all going to be doing it ourselves. We're not going to need an accountant, are we?
No. What's very amusing, as a coincidence, is the 2nd of February really is Groundhog Day.
Oh my God.
You know, in the States, it's Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh my gosh. Art representing reality. Yeah.
I know. A conversation I was having with a coach recently, and she said, you kind of wake up, you eat a few times, and you go back to bed.
Absolutely.
And then rinse and repeat. Just keep doing it.
Through Netflix, and if just one conversation with a friend may be the only thing, but you really appreciate that one thing, or seeing all the kids on the sledges in the snow, and just that was beautiful. It almost felt like it was a Christmas thing, and I kind of thought, have they had their sledges by the door? Because suddenly all these sledges were just everywhere, and it's like, were they just there waiting?
Brilliant. Yeah, we've had a couple of dumps of snow here, and I live at the top of a very steep hill.
Oh gosh,
so steep that the first time that I drove up it, kind of round corner, you know, these corners,
you didn't come back down.
No, but I had to, as I was driving, I had to do that thing that goes, physics says my car can't fall backwards up this hill.
Oh my goodness.
It feels like you're going to just
tip. Gosh, have you been able to navigate it and get your bite point open?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's, you know, my passengers have sometimes gone, oh my word.
It's like a playground ride.
Exactly that. I don't know if you've ever seen The Italian Job, the Michael Caine one.
Love it. They should never have remade it.
No, they shouldn't. The original was filmed in Turin, which is where I live.
Wow. Oh my God. Beautiful.
And it still looks like that.
Does it really? Oh my goodness.
You know where
when they go
through the river and all the roads. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It is. It's lovely.
Oh gosh, you're in a good place.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, Sophie. So, how have you been online? What is Sophie Garner online? What does it look like? What are you doing? Who are you doing it
with? I've got used to it. I swore I would never ever teach online because it goes against everything that I do organically, and I am a very, very touchy-feely. I hug every client, whether they're a kid or an adult. I kiss most people. I hug people when I meet them because it's just, that's what I've always been like. I'm tactile. The work I do is about emotion. And the first week of lockdown, I got off the first session and I just sat and cried. And some of my choir members that I'm good friends with messaged me and they went, Sophie, we could see that you were just so desperately wanting to make this a great experience and flying by the seat of your pants, because, you know, it was like, oh gosh, where's the waiting room? It was just all this technology. It changed the way I work in the moment, and of course they couldn't hear themselves, so I'm then having to really make sure that I'm in the zone vocally, because it's just them and me. They're hearing me sing every song. I've got no idea whether they're singing in tune or not, and they're feeling like they're in a fishbowl. And of course, some then went, this is not for us. And everybody just experienced it differently. So that was really hard. Now it's the norm. In fact, I never thought I'd say it, but and other vocal coaches I've spoken to have also said this, Sarah. They've said that basically they're going to stay with it. And I'm going to admit, I love the fact that I can have gym jams on my bottom. I haven't got students turning up late. I haven't got parents in the car waiting in the cold and having to sit in traffic to get here. And my room, my house is my house. It's not a teaching environment.
It's a workspace, yeah.
So actually, there are bonuses.
And when you get off a call like this, it's not like finishing up choir practice and then having to tidy up and everybody milling around, which is very nice, but equally it can take another hour.
It can, but we do have a drink online, because we did in one particular choir, Sarah, so my main choir, we would then go downstairs, I'd pack up, go downstairs and we'd all have a drink. We now do that online, which gets a bit dangerous, but there's no driving. So we've been online. Choir finishes at like 8:30, and there's one choir attendee, and there was one night and she'd had a whole bottle and a half, and we were doing the time warp. It was just hilarious, and we all felt like we'd had a night out. Yeah. It was brilliant.
That's really good. One of the things that's very interesting is that my daughter, my youngest one, who's doing a musical theatre degree, it's all gone online, so she's not getting any practical lessons at all. She's even had assessments on dance technique, having had no dance classes.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Tring, and I'm having to work her through an audition for Tring College to get another sponsorship, and she doesn't know whether she's going to have a good microphone. It just may be so alienating for her.
Yeah, well, and she's just done it all online, and you know, she's now everything she does from home. And bless them, they still do their socials on a Wednesday night. They organise it on Zoom.
That's so important.
Put the wine into her bedroom, sits like a chat with all friends, and so they've just made the best of it. But I think university students in particular, who are all still paying their £9,250 a year,
probably feel they're getting short-changed.
Yeah, her lectures are basically a series of PowerPoint slides that are read to her.
And she, like me, we're in the same industry. Yeah. I sing, she acts and sings, and it's all about being with people. And people are going to come out of this just destroyed. I mean, already.
It's going to be different, I think.
Male suicide is up 200%, I think it is.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's 1 in 5 children have a undiagnosed mental health condition. We haven't even touched the surface on what's going to happen when we get out of this.
At the very beginning, I remember a colleague, another coach, saying to me, this is like March last year, she said, it's going to take 2 years. Pandemics take 2 years to roll through. Even if we get a vaccine, it's going to take 2 years. And I remember thinking at the time, that's a bit pessimistic. I actually think she's right now.
She is. Well, Paul, my partner, and I just wept. I went, stop, don't say anymore. He said, Sophie, I've just heard Boris intimate. And when Boris intimates, it kind of means I'm planting the seed for a very big tree. That the likelihood is I won't be going back to teaching in person till July.
Wow. Okay. Well, the thing is, if somebody
I'd rather have a date.
If somebody says, right, this isn't going to end until the end of July, but then it's done.
You've got a goal and you've got a focus, coming back to the kicking the can down the road. And we need that. If it was next December, at least we'd know it, Sarah, and we can then plan.
The bottom line is that they don't know either, do they?
No, I know.
And we were talking earlier about one of the big differences between living in the UK and living here in Italy is here in Italy, everybody wears a mask if they're outside their own home. So if you are in the street, you've got a mask on, and the masks don't come off unless you're sitting down in a restaurant, which currently are closed, so you can't. But there is a €400 fine.
That was just incredible. That is a deterrent.
Well, and what it means is everybody cooperates. They might not all be very happy about it, but they all cooperate, and the R number is coming down. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still quite high here, and there are just big family things go on in Italy in a different way than they do in the UK. But the R number is coming down. Fingers crossed it comes down for everybody. So let's get back to Sophie. So you've been doing stuff online, a couple of choirs and you're singing lessons and what have you. And I believe you've been working on another project as well.
Because I get bored easily. I've just gone in a mental creative zone. Basically, this project has been in the making for the last 4 years. But if I'm honest, it's kind of been in the making since I left school without realising it, because everything I've done, I've basically put into a book called the Creative Songwriting Journal, which is this beautiful, gorgeous, it's my baby. I don't have children, but this is my baby. And got a soft cover, got to have a soft cover.
Yeah, let's see the back, let's see the back. Turn over. Oh, it's got your photo. Look at that.
You know, the most exciting thing for me was I've got an ISBN. And it's got all colour pages. I paid extra to have the little things because I love stationery, firstly, like on another level. But I would want to open that and have a really lovely experience, and thought that somebody had taken. So I paid the extra because I want to be proud of it. And that's gone down well. But everything in there, in those 160 pages, is literally my entire career, my thought process, everything that I've taught children, adults, students that self-harm. I mean, in fact, probably a third of the book has been informed by a teenager that came to me on one lesson, and I've been teaching her for some time, and I knew she was upset, and I went, Hannah, what? And I've thanked her in the book, and she's been fine with that. I said, Hannah, whatever's wrong? And she went, I've tried to take my own life, and you're the only person I'm going to tell. And to cut a long story short, she wouldn't tell anyone. I pleaded with her, no, I'm not telling anyone. I said, well, can I at least tell my boyfriend, because I can't carry this on my own. And she always saw him when he opened the door to let her in. And I flew by the seat of my pants, and literally without realising it, wrote a third of that book while working with her through songwriting. I got her through the other side, and she has said in her own words, you saved my life with the songwriting. And so for the first year of my MA degree, which I finished in 2019, she became my case study. And that again helped tie up the science for the book, because as an academic, I want everything to be underpinned, so that if anybody goes, well, why does it work then? Isn't it just all, spiritual stuff? Yes, it is that as well, but it's underpinned by science. So it's just been endorsed by the UK parenting expert, Sue Atkins, who's on This Morning and Breakfast TV. She's loving it and promoting it. It's being bought by psychologists, home eds. I'm now talking to CAMS. And this is just since December. It is just incredible.
Brilliant.
So I've never done that. What's it about? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You told me what it's called and all of that stuff, but I don't know what it is.
I'm so rubbish. It's called the Creative Songwriting Journal. So it's literally my approach to how to teach somebody that has no experience how to write a song. So it can just be any child. It's been branded towards 7 to 12-year-olds, but literally everything in this I teach to all ages. But for branding purposes, I had to pick
an age group. Yeah.
An adult version, and it'll be pretty much kind of what's in there, but repurposed content.
Yeah. Cool. How exciting. So what's your plan with it?
I'm now creating courses. Well, they're already created, actually, because the teaching came before the book. So it's the chicken and egg. So now I'm just homing in on the courses that will go with the book. So my big aim is to get what I do into schools, have it validated, have it respected as something that is a need, because it's about kids' mindset. It's about positivity. It's about getting them feeling good, and with no disrespect to the subjects in school, but English and maths ain't going to do that. This is about kids being able to express themselves. And one of my key terms in the book is, if you can't say it, sing it. Kids can't verbalise always what they need to say, hence why we get so many kids that have been sexually abused and aren't able to verbalise that. They don't know what the words are, whereas a song can do that for you. So if a kid can write a song, how powerful is that? To connect with something that's theirs. They've written it. It belongs to them. It's nobody else's. That is some serious self-empowerment and resilience. That's mine. It belongs to me. You can't take it away from me, you know? So it's a healthy attachment. And that's what this is about. It's about encouraging positivity, creation, and self-exploration, you know, and self-expression, and going, wow, I'm going to let out all this energy. And of course, being in this blooming lockdown, kids are feeling this. They're used to being in the playground, making up songs and running around and getting muddy, and they can't. And, you know, it's hard enough for adults to navigate this, but at least we have the adult skills to be able to do that. Kids don't, you know. So hearing from a parent, you're just going to have to put up with it. Well, they don't know how to put up with it because they haven't been through life experiences to know how to do that. So this book has been amazing. I'm proud of myself because, as I said to you earlier, I've reached really low points in this lockdown, and that book has kept me focused. I've got up every day, and this has been my reason to get out of bed, you know, and clean my teeth. And it's the book I should have had as a kid. You know, I had a pretty screwed up childhood, very abusive childhood, and I could have done with that book. So I've written the book that I needed. And that's—
You've written a book for the little Sophie.
Sorry, darling?
You've written a book for little Sophie.
Yes. Oh God, don't. That makes me feel quite emotional. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Just remembering those dolls.
Yes. Yes, those little dolls. That's right. I'd forgotten about those. Just for anybody who's wondering what we're talking about.
I know. Go on, you explain.
The little worry dolls that go in a bag, weren't they? I think Guatemala, somewhere South American. The idea is that you whisper to the dolls and then you put them in a bag. You whisper all your problems, you put them in a bag, and then you tuck them under your pillow at night. And when you wake up in the morning, they've talked about the problems overnight, and it will be solved for you.
And you came up with this brilliant idea, didn't you?
And making one of you.
Yeah. And what did we call it? Pocket rocket. That's what you called it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Red pocket rocket. So I went off and bought loads of goat hair from Wales.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and these little wooden dolls because of you. And now I've got to decorate them. They're still in the bag.
So that's your job. That's your next job.
Yeah,
now
they'll be posted out with a book, and then they can just hold it and
you can just stand it and sing to it. We've been talking for nearly half an hour.
Oh God, have we? I've written book number 2, by the way, as well, and I'm now about to write book number 3.
Oh, tell me what book number 2 is. Go on, we've got time.
It's a 30-day positive planner. So it's kind of like, it's a lead on from the book. However, it could be done before the book or after because it's a standalone book. But it's going to be an A4, and it literally is a 30-day positive planner. So there's something every day. Some of it's song related, some of it's to go outside and have to find things to write songs, and there's affirmations. And the third book, which has kind of been slightly inspired by Jessica Prime, and I think she's watching now.
Yeah.
I love what Jessica has done. She's an absolute trailblazer, and she just is a go-getter, and she gets on with it, and she really inspires me, and it's thanks to her.
Now you have to say what she's done, otherwise people won't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, she's written these amazing books that are all about really giving children a creative outlet. And I can't now think of the names of the books because
happiness, and there's family, and there's kindness. And the way it works is that each child, you know, they can choose to be involved from all over the world. They can choose to be involved, and they write what they think that word means. My goddaughter wrote some for the first book. She was 7. Yeah. Which is lovely. So yeah, and she's done 3 of them. I think she's got the 4th on the go, and she's also doing one for adults around My 2020, isn't she?
Yes, well, it's thanks to her that this happened in terms of being illustrated, because she put me in touch with Fuzzy Flamingo. So, and I thank Jessica in the book for that, and she's going to be a guest actually on my podcast soon. But what I was going to say is that she inspired me to put an idea I'd had that I didn't think could work, and I thought, well, Jessica's done it and I can do this. So what I'm going to do, I set up this free choir online, and I had 400 people immediately within 48 hours follow my author page. No advertising with Facebook, no click, whatever. And then 220 of them came over to the choir group. I went online with this free choir. I've got 75 kids online. I'm doing this with the Zoom pages so I can see everybody back and forth. And I thought, oh my goodness, all these kids. And I got messages saying, my son's got ADHD, you've made him feel valued, he feels like, he came and I went, she's a ginger like me. Well, I died, but anyway, he believes that. Brilliant. Oh, she's made me feel like I matter. And I'm like, this is incredible. So what I've done, I've decided I'm going to do a book talking about the positives that they've had in lockdown through a song or a picture. And then I'm going to try and get them singing it and post videos, and it will be through the journey of lockdown. So it might start with poems where they're scared. Oh my goodness, it's the beginning, what happened? And by the end of the book, it'll be, this is how I feel now. And they're all up for it. And it's going to be an ebook because I can't really afford to do a physical book. Haven't got the money.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. 3 books. What am I doing? It's like Jessica, though. It's catching.
Who are you and what did you do with Sophie Garner?
It's the book disease.
Sophie, we're going to have to wrap up. But thank you.
Know. I want to come to Italy. I want to come to Italy.
Thank you so much for your time again.
Thank
you,
darling.
Keep up the good work. Keep those kids singing and those grown-ups singing. And I look forward to catching up with you in another 12 months.
Yes, let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's before that. And I could come over to you.
See you soon, Sophie.
Thank you so much, my love.
Bye.
Bye, darling.